as declared by Tom Bradley, mayor of Los Angeles, California in 1987. April 28th is Masters of the Universe Day. So happy Masters of the Universe Day, everybody! Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and welcome to the Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I thought it would be really fun to celebrate Masters of the Universe Day by talking about, well, my personal childhood Masters of the Universe action figures. I know this is something I have talked about on this channel a whole bunch, but Masters of the Universe was one of my all-time favorite toy lines and absolutely one of my fondest childhood memories. I even have some surviving photographs of me with all of my He-Man action figures lined up in the front yard or running around my house with my yellow He-Man power sword tucked in the back of my shirt. And if you ask my mom about He-Man today, well, she will happily tell you how I used to run back and forth up and down the hallway, pulling that sword out of my shirt and saying those magical words, "By the power of Grayskull." So needless to say, Masters of the Universe has always been a pretty big part of my life. But, like I'm sure has happened with many of you, I did not keep all of my childhood Masters of the Universe action figures, and I had a lot of them. Look, my mom was really good to me. Both of my parents were amazing to me when I was a kid, and I definitely had a ton of action figures and vehicles and playsets from the Masters of the Universe toy line as I was growing up. But like many of you probably went through, I hit that phase where, well, I probably don't need these toys anymore. And I still remember the yard sale that my family had that day when I brought out my massive box of He-Man action figures and I plunked them down with a sign that said 5 cents a piece. And you know what happened? Well, one person walked up to that yard sale and said, "I will give you $25 for the entire collection," and I said, "Sold." You see, at that point, $25 was just more important than all of those toys from when I was a little kid. Ugh, it's one of those things you wish you could just go back in time and stop yourself, right? But the good news is that I went through those and I picked out some of my favorite figures before selling off that box. And I still have those 5 figures in my collection today, and we're going to take a look at them.
Which is the real Ninjoe? Evil master of martial arts. Will Clap Champ get a hold of him? I have the power. Figures sold separately. New from the Masters of the Universe, Ninjoe and Clap Champ. Evil skill against steel grip.
Let's go ahead and start with He-Man, because of course I had to keep a He-Man action figure, but I didn't keep the one that you think I probably kept. In fact, I probably don't even have your second choice. I kept Flying Fists He-Man. You see, I bet a lot of you are like, why didn't he keep the original He-Man? Why didn't he keep Battle Armor He-Man? Everybody loves Battle Armor He-Man. Well, my friends, there was something about Flying Fist He-Man that I really loved. And once I got this figure, he became my standard He-Man when playing out my adventures. And to be perfectly honest, I think that we all know what the reason is. He has shiny armor. Yes, that vac metallized armor was always appealing to me as a kid and something that I still love today. So you can see mine's actually still in pretty good shape, and somehow I kept his weapon all these years. Now, some of the gold paint that's supposed to be around the arms and the belt is definitely rubbed off. It's pretty common with this guy. I've also got this like red gash going down his neck that has got to be paint rubbed from playing with other action figures, but certainly looks like he was in a pretty gruesome battle with Skeletor. But yeah, there he is. That's my He-Man from my childhood right there. My original Flying Fists He-Man. Okay, the second figure that I kept, let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. You guys all know it's coming. Mosquitor. You see, if you don't know by now, Mosquitor was my absolute favorite action figure from the Masters of the Universe toy line when I was a kid. He was one that came out at the very end of the line, but once I got him, I was attached. And it's all about that blood pumping gimmick. Pressing that button on his back makes that real red liquid ooze down his translucent window in his chest, and mine still works perfectly. You can see he's definitely got some scuffs going on. He's a little beat up. He's not perfect, but that's because he was played with. And even though he's got all those scuffs, he's still in pretty good shape. Now, I did not keep the original purple gun from my childhood. I probably lost that at some point, so later on down the line, I did get a purple gun to complete this guy, and you know what? He might be scuffed up, he might be a little dinged, but this is the one I still prominently display with my vintage Masters of the Universe collection, because he's just so special to me. Okay, the third figure that I decided to keep, and this one's probably going to surprise a lot of people, but it's Ninjoe. Yes, Ninjoe of all figures. There's a little bit of an interesting theme going on here, isn't there? A lot of the figures that I kept were all later releases in the line, and I think that has to do with the fact that they were so fresh in my mind at the time that I ended up keeping them. Ninjoe is a little bit of a surprise to me personally as an adult because, while I think Ninjoe is a cool character, I'm not entirely sure why I decided that this one in particular was a character that I needed to keep. Ninjas are obviously very cool, and one of the things I think might have led me to hanging on to this guy was, at the time, I was drawing my own comic books. My artwork is terrible, but I came up with my own superheroes, and one of my main characters was a black ninja, and I think I used this figure as sort of like the action figure of my created character. So that probably had a lot to do with it. The other thing is the one weapon that I kept of his, which are the nunchucks. I always loved Ninjoe's nunchucks. The fact that they had a real metal chain was mind-blowing to me. In fact, later on, when I started collecting Ninja Turtles, those became Mikey's nunchucks. And somehow, even through playing with all my turtles, I still managed to keep the nunchucks and put it back with my original Ninjoe figure, and here he sits in my collection today. So the fourth figure that I kept probably will be another one that's not a surprise: Scareglow. Scareglow is one of those figures that everybody loves. In fact, he's become one of those massive favorites that everybody is always trying to track down. And I loved Scareglow from the moment I got him as a child. Everything about this guy was so cool. The fact that he glowed in the dark was even better. I loved his cloth cape, but here's a fun story, and I've told this before, so maybe you already know it. After I saw the '87 Masters of the Universe motion picture, I became obsessed. I loved that movie, despite the fact it was so different from the cartoon series that I grew up with. Well, in that movie, Skeletor was white, not yellow. So Scareglow became my Skeletor. I pretended like this was movie Skeletor, and I reenacted all the moments from the movie with this figure right here, and that's probably why I decided to keep him instead of an actual Skeletor, because to me, this was Skeletor, and I thought he was very cool looking. Now, eventually, I did get an updated Scareglow where he's not quite as discolored. He's got his cloth cape, he's got his weapon, but this original one that's missing his weapon and his cape is always going to be very special to me because it's mine that I actually played with. And the final figure that I kept from my childhood, another one that's probably going to shock you guys, but maybe not after some of the stories I've told you, it's Sarad. And oh boy, my Sarad has really seen better days. So, I mentioned my love for the '87 movie, and Sarad was my favorite looking character in that film, and I think that's what led me to keeping this figure. I always thought he was very cool and very unique looking. Now, as many of you might know who collect Masters of the Universe, he is made of a very brittle plastic that has not held up very well over the years, and as you can see, mine is really beat up. Mine had a hole in its chest that has been there since my childhood. I broke him at some point as a kid, so that hole in his chest was always there, but it's gotten worse and worse over the years as he is degraded. His legs fell out, his torso cracked in half. In fact, I can even remove the back here if you guys want to see what the inside of Sarad looked like. It's pretty wild. Unfortunately, the sparking mechanism no longer works in this guy as well. He is very beat up. Of course, I did eventually get myself a complete Sarad figure as an adult collector that is in much better shape, but even though this one is all junked up and destroyed, he's always going to be special to me because he's one of the very few figures I kept from my childhood. So there you guys go. There are the 5 Masters of the Universe action figures that I've kept from my childhood. Yeah, I wish I could go back in time and stop myself from getting rid of that whole collection, and you know, I'm glad that I've got the 5 that I have, but it is kind of an odd choice, right? Especially since in recent years, with recollecting the line, I've really fallen in love with the 82 and 83 line specifically, but you know, there must have been a reason why those 5 figures meant so much to me, so I am definitely happy that I do still have them in my collection today. And hey, guess what? Now I can plug this, because if you don't still have your childhood figures, you can always pick up the Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's right, my friends, this is my book published by Dark Horse, and it is available in comic shops right now, and will be coming soon to the rest of bookstores and retail outlets on May 4th, 2021. So those of you who pre-ordered online will be getting yours shipped very soon. Those of you who ordered the PowerCon exclusive bundle will also be getting yours shipped very soon, which means this is out there, guys. You're all going to have this in your hands very soon, and if you haven't yet, there is still time. You can head on over to toyguide.thepower-con.com if you're interested in picking up the bundle pack, or check out your local comic book shop, support your local stores, and grab the Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe today. Ha! Holy cow. It's amazing to look back and see where I was all those years ago, see where it started, and then see where I am now. I can't believe I'm a published author. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching this video. Happy Masters of the Universe Day. And until next time, my friends.
The Toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is available for pre-order now. This official guidebook is published by Dark Horse Books and features over 750 pages of photos and information on your favorite He-Man and She-Ra action figures. And don't miss out on the exclusive bundle pack available for pre-order now from PowerCon. This bundle includes the official guide as well as an exclusive character guide supplement that you won't be able to buy anywhere else. Don't miss out. You have the power.